Always messing with a cam.
Absolutely. Hopefully this will be the I guess last time I deal very much to the cam.
A lot of feedback.
No, I'm getting a new desktop.
No, I know, but there's a lot of feedback when you're talking. Like there's like a loud like screeching sound that I hear.
Let me check that. Give me a second. Hold up.
There it goes.
Still? Okay.
Yeah, still. You hear it?
Yeah, I just heard it. See that? That'll make it worse. Let's see.
Is the mic on your second login on?
I think that's what's going on. You hear me better now?
I can hear you, but there's the screeching sound still there. It's only when you talk. It's only when you talk though.
We good now?
Yeah. What was it?
Well, I have the headphones for my laptop, but I didn't have the headphones in for my phone. So,
okay.
You know how I have to
technical difficulties aside.
Yep. I was like, what's going on? Why is it echoing like that? And hey, you know, we'll figure it out as it goes on. Like I said, hopefully this will be the last time it has such a shaky start here. But we are back. We're the Fantasy Suckers. We are in week fucking 10, man. Week 10, bro.
Yeah, we are at the halfway point of the NFL season.
It's past the halfway, right? It's
well, all the team or most teams have already played 9 games by now. So I would say, you know, either 8 or 9 games, whatever may come.
Okay.
But
yeah.
You know, there's 18 weeks in the season. So yeah, week 9 technically was the halfway point. So
yeah, this is because it's 18 now, right?
Yeah, I forget about that. I forgot it's 18 now. For some reason I thought it was more or less. Well, I don't even know what I'm thinking. It must be high.
No, it's definitely, you know, I believe I'm high enough for the both of us. But
bad math from this Asian right here.
I know what's going on with that. Jesus,
I don't know, man. It must come with old age, you know. So
Let's
All right, welcome in, guys. Happy week 10. Hopefully, you guys have had a great week so far. As Johnny said, we are the Fantasy Suckers, and this is, I think, our 5th edition of this show. Is it 5th or 4th?
Let's not put in. Age ain't nothing but a number, as my idol R. Kelly would say. But we've been doing this for decades at this point. It's just finally we decided to share our knowledge with the fine people in YouTube. Hopefully we get some questions back in now that we are live again this week. But either way, let's charge forward. Were there any games that were surprising to you that stood out to you
from last week?
Yeah, last week. Mm-hmm.
Yes, most definitely. I did not give the Jets a stinking chance against the Bills.
Yeah. I definitely.
I still think Zach Wilson is not that great of a quarterback, and that defense is definitely carrying the team. But
but now is Garrett Wilson a viable?
Yes, he most definitely is. Zach Wilson is looking his way a lot more now.
Finally,
finally.
Yeah, man.
He's actually, I think, since the Breece Hall injury, it's forced him to get away from his comfort zone. So he's looking and building a different rapport with his young receiving core, minus Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore still wants to get away from the team, but he's gotten Conklin involved, the tight end. He's gotten Garrett Wilson involved, and I think he's itching for Corey Davis to get back because that's his favorite target right there. But
Corey
since
Davis,
Breece Hall went down.
Since Breece Hall went down, I mean, he's had to go to Garrett Wilson. Hopefully that's, builds a future rapport with him. And Corey Davis is coming back. You got to, ease him back into it. So, hopefully for Zach Wilson's sake and people in New York who like the Jets, their sake that, they have a very good record this year.
They do. And I always think, NFL.com was posting about like the current playoff picture, and I think the Jets are currently 6th in the AFC, which is all the New York teams are currently in the playoffs. And it's like, oh wow, I was thinking about this. When was the last time the Jets were in the playoffs?
I don't know. I mean, I wish we had some type of analyst one day. Maybe we'll have one. But
I think off the top of my head, I think the last time they were there was when Mark Sanchez was their starting quarterback.
Butt fumble?
The butt fumble guy. Yes.
I mean,
I think the last time the Jets were in the playoffs.
I think it was that game. So maybe I'm wrong. I think.
Yes, their last playoff appearance was in 2010 against the Steelers. In the AFC Championship game with Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
It's pretty sad, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a Washington Commanders fan, or I guess. Look. I know I publicly came out and said that I'm a Bills fan, but in lieu of recent news about possible changing in ownership, I think I might be able to stick with Washington. As long
in the news of Bezos and Jay-Z potentially merging as a force to buy a team, that's pretty exciting. And like,
and KD actually wants to get in on it too. It's awesome.
Who? Oh, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
No. I said KD, Kevin Durant. He said he.
Oh, Kevin Durant. Yeah, I saw that too. But I'm like, I was thinking in my head, it's like Jeff Bezos is freaking rich. He doesn't need Jay-Z. And I was like, Jay-Z. I didn't realize Jay-Z is a billionaire. I did not realize that.
Oh yeah, he is. Did he just became a billionaire? I mean, Jay-Z became a billionaire shortly after Kanye. Kanye ruined his whole thing by attacking the Jews, which we would never do here on this podcast. We love the Jews and we are pro-Semitic. I guess. would be the opposite of Hispanic. But yeah, like yeah, Diddy just became a billionaire, other things like that. Yeah, so there's been a few. So I mean, he was a billionaire prior to owning a good part of the Nets before he sold out from that. So I mean, in retrospect, this was before they had Kyrie and KD, but maybe in the right ideology he got it. But I would love for it to be like the Rock Nation Rockefeller Stadium in DC. I mean, amazing. I don't care if we change our name to the Washington Prime, or like next day delivery. I don't know. I don't care what we change our name to, as long as Daniel Snyder is gone. I think I can continue to root for the team. And I honestly think with Jeff Bezos' money, and they might change the shit back to the Redskins. That's just a crazy fever pitch dream. But he would at least change the name to something more better than the Commanders. So
Man, football team was better than the Commanders.
yeah, it was. And that was the literally most generic. That means that your choice was worse than generic. It was fucking stupid. I mean, that would have been better if we were calling ourselves the Washington Stupids. I would have been like, maybe we could sell some jerseys. Fucking Washington Stupids. But yeah, so yeah, that was definitely a shocking scenario. I mean, it shows that Josh Allen, he's gonna look. The Chiefs lost to the fucking Colts early in the season, so things will happen to
Oh
good
yeah,
teams.
that did happen. That did happen.
Good teams will have little hiccups, but the biggest problem I think for the Bills is that they're not very good on the side, like running the ball. They don't run the ball very good at all. Singletary, I don't think is good enough. Like and you think about it, what McCaffrey is doing for the 49ers right now. Hopefully if the Bills had gotten McCaffrey, like
they've been lights out Super Bowl favorites. Like,
yeah,
even though they were already
out.
Super Bowl favorites, but
yeah, I mean, I get it. You don't want to like mess up the chemistry or whatever, but you have an obvious deficiency at the running back position, and you didn't do anything to upgrade it. Before the trade deadline. So that's something that has come up since the last time we did this podcast. The trade deadline just ended, right?
Yes, sir.
A couple of defensive players. There's a Chase Claypool on the Bears. I mean, I forget who else.
Roquan Smith to
I was saying everything else is pretty much defensive. So I mean, we focus on fantasy football here, so there's only so much we can do with these defensive upgrades. The one last domino fantasy wise that I wanted to drop is the new news. Have you heard about all the speculation around Odell Beckham going to the Cowboys?
Oh no. I did not hear that.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe that'll change. All right, so we got a first question here from Uncle Tom. Half PPR sending. He's talking about trading Derrick Henry for Jalen Waddle and Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, that is
half PPR.
Yeah, so we pretty much dabble in. It's hard to get rid of Derrick Henry. I mean, he's actually
most definitely it's hard.
Like I as an owner of him, it's hard for me to say. I'm actually owner of Henry and Ramondre Stevenson, and the reason Ramondre Stevenson is so good right now is because Damian Harris has been injured. So on the passing front and the running front, he's been the number one for the Patriots. So I mean, going into playoff contention and trying to win your league, Ramondre Stevenson might not be sustainable, and Jalen Waddle is always going to be the number 2 on that team. I mean, Jesus Christ, Tariq Hill is having like an MVP.
He's on pace for 2K, and he's like got more receiving yardage than like half the league.
Yeah, so
like half the teams in the league. So
it's ridiculous. So like if Tariq Hill's going to continue to get that, and Waddle's going to get the second part of that. I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know. If there's some way you can get Tua on your team, just get him. I mean, Jesus Christ, like how prolific can they continue to stay? I mean, Waddle is hard to trust, because if Tariq Hill's getting 12 to 14 fucking catches a week, he's probably getting 16 to 18 targets. So I mean, Waddle's gonna get production, but
it won't be consistent production.
Yeah,
so
it's not gonna be consistent. So
I would say hang on to Derrick Henry, mainly because the Titans are in playoff contention, and as of late, Tannehill has been hurt, and they've been starting Malik Willis, and I think Tannehill is slated to come back this week, but even then, their receivers are not very good, and they're going to depend on Derrick Henry to get them down the field.
Think about how. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry to cut you off, but think about how unstoppable Derrick Henry is. Derrick Henry is so unstoppable that with Malik Willis, he had like 350 yards and multiple touchdowns over a 2-week span.
And they knew that they were going to be running the ball.
Yeah, without him. Like, Treylon Burks is finally, I think he's coming back. I mean, he's definitely no AJ Brown, like what they tried to make him as a draft pick to replace him. Now, he's no AJ Brown, but Treylon Burks is still probably one of their better receivers. So, I mean, with him and Tannehill back, it should help Derrick Henry, and with nobody to back them up, no other option, he couldn't be stopped. So, stick with Henry, man. You're likely to get just as many points 1 week off of just Derrick Henry as you would for Waddle and Stevenson. So at that point, I'd look into adding another, looking into some type of flex or waiver wire to get those points, because better to have that one big piece is getting all the points than splitting them all up. All right, Tony, you want to get into the games?
Yes, sir. Let's start with Thursday night. And I'm gonna be up late tomorrow, either pulling my hair out or waking up the wife, because it is the Falcons and Panthers. And Cordarrelle Patterson is back, and when we played them less than 10 days ago, he was not there. So this is a new wrinkle that they're going to have to game plan for. So I'm already telling anybody who is planning on starting anybody on Thursday Night Football, start Cordarrelle Patterson.
Okay.
Because we cannot stop the run. As you guys saw against the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Mixon had a fucking career high in the first half. He had like 145 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half. And it didn't stop in the second half either. Although I think the defense will be better this week. But start Cordarrelle Patterson. For the love of God, start Cordarrelle Patterson.
Cordarrelle Patterson. I mean, yeah.
He's a PPR machine too. So
what Joe Mixon did last week was it was pretty telling. like in our league, and I assume most leagues, if you had Joe Mixon last week, you won your week.
Mhm. Literally.
Definitely,
Or if you
man.
had Justin Fields,
Yeah, that's also true.
Um, as far as I would also probably start Kyle Pitts because he fucking destroyed that Carolina defense a few days ago. Although they're probably going to key on him this week, but it's going to be hard to key on him with Patterson back. So those are the two guys I would start on Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it. I just hate it for Atlanta because you got to sit there and just deal with Mariota because he's playing mediocre football just enough to keep them afloat and keep them semi-relevant in a
Mhm.
very bad in the new NFC East. And I mean, because I like the backup. I like I'm gonna keep talking about it until he starts. I like Desmond Ritter, and I want him to start. And by the time next year, I want to start most of the rest of this year. And then get some because Drake London is underutilized in my opinion. Kyle Pitts is underutilized in
Yes.
my opinion. And next year, after all that dumb shit is done, they'll have Calvin Ridley, like the Atlanta
No, they won't.
offense. Oh, is he done? Has he been?
Calvin Ridley got traded to the Jaguars, to the team that he bet against.
When did that happen? Did I
Trade
miss
deadline.
that?
It was one of the very last trades that was announced. It was kind of ironic because he bet on the Atlanta Falcons to beat the Jaguars. So now he's a Jaguar. He's suspended and he can't play until next year. It's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
So what did okay. Oh god. So all right.
And I think they traded him for chump change, literally. So
wow. I mean, that's crazy. Like I thought all right. I mean, yeah, I completely missed that at the trade deadline. Wow.
no,
So,
it wasn't chump change. Actually, they got a good haul back. They got a 2023 fifth rounder and a 2024 second rounder. So
okay, so
I feel like
they got a second round pick like 2 years from now. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Oh well. Shit. I mean, there's a lot of the teams that should have done that. I feel like they just did it to the Jaguars to spit in his face. I mean, hey, look, that'll be helpful to Trevor Lawrence next year. I mean, he's Calvin Ridley.
He's a good receiver.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's just dumb off field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. Some people are, like that. Other than that, nobody on me. You wouldn't even start DJ Moore.
I would start DJ Moore this week because Atlanta's defense is still sus. They're missing.
Who's starting? Is Baker starting?
No, PJ's still starting. PJ is still starting.
Okay.
They announced that PJ is going to start, and I expect for him to bounce back, and not go 3 for 10 and 9 yards in the first half, and throwing 2 picks. So I was very surprised with that call because Baker came in and he actually looked pretty good in the second half in dumpster time. But Steve Wilkes is sticking with his guns and sticking with PJ. And I think another reason why they're doing that is because Baker has a clause in his contract. And if he plays 70% of the snaps this year, the 5th round pick that we traded to Cleveland becomes a 4th rounder. So I think maybe that has something to do with it. So,
I mean, but at this point, he can't even start 70%. He's missed too many games at this point.
He's missed 3.
5. No, 1, 3, right?
He's missed 3 games. Yeah. So
yeah. I guess so.
So they also activated Darnold this week, so he's not going to play. But Darnold will probably, if PJ stinks the bed tomorrow night, then I anticipate that Darnold will be the starter next week.
Okay.
But Yeah, I would start DJ Moore. I'm hesitant on anybody else at the moment. Because Chuba is gonna be back. Deontay's gonna have he's gonna share the backfield. So if anybody else, on the fringe, I'd say start Terrace Marshall because he had a good game last week, 2 games in a row. So I think we're starting to trust him. But other than that, DJ Moore is a solid start.
All right, so let's go to Sunday then. Start up
All right,
Sunday.
we got our first game in Munich. It's going to be
In Munich?
the Seahawks Bucks.
They'll
So
play it
it's gonna be
in
9:30
Germany.
a.m. here Eastern time when it airs. So I think that's gonna be like 2:30 or 3:30 in the afternoon over
The
there.
Seahawks,
So-
Bucks. Okay, so
Seahawks Bucks.
God, I mean, if there isn't anybody closer to being a Nazi sympathizer, I assume it would be Tom Brady. So he will have his best game, I assume. Where's Giselle from?
She's from Brazil.
All right, good. That's what I thought. And Brazil is where all of the Germans went to hide after the war. Mm. Connections. So maybe Giselle's German. I don't know. I was saying.
I mean, her last name is
Okay.
Bunchen,
Yeah.
so it definitely is very German.
It is. That's why I asked. I mean, she, maybe her family, was running Brazil, but the lineage doesn't, begin there. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know.
Start Geno
Tom
Smith.
Brady. Yeah, start Geno.
Geno Smith is having an
Start
MVP like campaign,
Yeah, start
like
DK.
unbelievable.
Yeah. DK Metcalf, you start Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker has continued to have a good year. And I don't know if you're really fringe, you can start, because there's definitely still more bye weeks. You can start Tyler Lockett, but
Speaking of DK Metcalf, have you seen the clips of him faking like the ball is coming to him when he's running downfield so he can free up the play? So there's been a couple of clips I think on NFL Network where he's like just like running straight down the field and then he'll look up and then he'll run past the cornerback and he'll put his hands up as if the ball is coming to him and the cornerback will actually go and try and tackle him. And while he's doing that as a diversion, the ball's going the other way.
I mean, it'd be great if he gonna get like a penalty somehow, some way from doing that. If he can get a penalty out of it, good. But unless he's,
it's kind of hilarious.
It is kind of funny. It's just kind of trolly, unless he's taking the attention from like one of the safeties that might, do something. But yeah, it's just funny to me. Like, all right, you're just messing with the cornerbacks. I mean, I guess in the long term, it keeps them on their P's and Q's. It keeps them guessing. You're like, well, is the ball actually coming or is he fucking with me?
All right. As far as on Tampa side, I still say do not start Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a sit. So, I mean, if you have Mike Evans, you probably have to start him. You don't have anybody in your second or flexes is going to be better than starting him. So,
I agree.
Chris Godwin. If you have to start,
The Seattle defense is actually pretty good too. So, anybody other than Mike Evans, it would be kind of
absolutely.
Desperation, kind of.
Desperation is your desperation flex is Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette. Those are desperations. So, Mike Evans, only person we could recommend, not even Tom Brady. I'm thinking about starting Daniel Jones over Tom Brady this week. I'm like,
what Jones, fantasy has come to.
I know Daniel Jones gets the Houston Texas defense. I figure it might be a better start than Tom Brady in Munich. I don't know. Well, let's go back to America.
So we got to start off with the ones. Let's go with Vikings and Bills. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. Like
This is gonna be a chance for Kirk Cousins to show if his team is really legit or if they're frauds.
Absolutely. I hope the Bills beat the shit out of them. The Bills are also already sad that they lost to a divisional rival they've traditionally destroyed.
Mhm.
And Josh
And Stephon
Allen
Diggs got shut down.
Stephon Diggs got shut down. Josh Allen said he played bad and said he was a bad quarterback. So I'd expect them to not sleep all week in preparation to beating the shit out of them. So yeah, I would start Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I would start Gabe Davis. In the flex, I might start Devin Singletary. But I mean, I guess I still can't say.
I don't trust Devin Singletary at all. So
Me either. I don't.
on Minnesota side, I would say start Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
Yeah,
start Kirk, man.
I don't know about starting Kirk. I mean, he's been playing well, but is he getting fantasy points doing well? That's the question.
True. That's true. He didn't have many fantasy points against Washington. Washington's defense is actually, I think, a little better than people thought. I mean, there's been a couple of teams that have had a hard time moving the ball against us. But we just had an equally hard enough time moving the ball back on the other end. Yeah, I would say
I'm looking at Kirk Cousins
not against Buffalo
fantasy points.
Not against the Bills defense. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the Bills defense is decent, but I think they're still missing. They lost Tre'Davious White, so there's some weakness there. But I mean, looking at his fantasy points, he's been decent. He's like 19, 8, 18, 12, 21, 17, 23, 16. So, he had one dud week against Philly, but he's been fairly consistent.
Yeah.
So
he's pretty consistent. I mean, I don't think this will be the week is going to be his ball out week, but I'd actually see this as actually their loss. This week should be the time that they've won like 6 in a row. I mean, they can't keep winning.
And they have a big lead in the NFC North. Big lead.
Yeah, it's basically over. Like the Packers are garbage. The Lions are garbage, and the Bears are garbage. It's just a fucking trash fire in that whole division.
Literally, they have 5 games. They are up 5 games.
Yeah, the fact that the Vikings are the best team and by far is pretty sad. All right, I mean, that's all I got on that. Bills, Vikings, what's next?
All right, we got Lions and Bears. Oh my.
And Tigers? No Tigers. All right.
Justin Fields is a definite must start for the rest of the season. I will say that now.
And that's it on the Bears. All right. And let's go to the Lions. Nobody. All right, let's go. I mean, yeah, what? Swift?
Swift has been, I don't know. You can't trust him because he'll play a game and then he'll get knocked out and not come back.
Look, for the last few weeks, I thought Amon St. Rod, like whatever,
he has fallen off.
Yeah. And Goofy, Jared Goofball. He hasn't done shit. So
yeah.
I wouldn't start
Justin Fields.
Comfortable
just about it.
Anybody. Yeah, Justin Fields. So all
right. So next we got the Broncos and the Titans.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Derrick Henry. Continue.
Derrick Henry.
Continue.
Right, yeah.
Tell me what.
That's just continue.
You're gonna start Russell Wilson? Yeah,
no.
Yes, start anybody on either one of the like.
Nope, nobody.
Oh, nobody else. The
All right,
defense.
so
I'm thinking about starting the Titans defense against the Broncos.
I mean, you can actually start either of those defenses because quarterbacks are sus. But
Yeah,
Derrick
absolutely.
Henry is the only thing you gotta worry about.
Yep, Derrick Henry.
All right, so
King
next we
Henry.
got Jags and Chiefs.
Uh,
You know what's sad? I'm thinking about starting Trevor Lawrence this week over Justin Herbert.
wow. Um, look, man, like Taylor. I mean, I guess it's just they're bad at run stop, and I think the Chiefs are kind of built to stop the pass because usually Mahomes is in the lead. He's scoring touchdowns, so things like that. But I like that's kind of what they ran into. Like with the Titans last week. Like the Titans seem to have their whole number, but I think we're gonna get back on course here. It's just you don't know who to start. Do you start Juju? I mean,
I think Juju is a must start every week now
so
for
Juju
Kansas City because I think that
is
he's definitely gotten that number. He's definitely gotten those share of targets behind Travis Kelsey, but no one else on the Chiefs is getting the ball other than Juju, Kelsey, and Hilaire maybe. But
yeah. I was gonna ask you, is it 4? Because you're starting Mahomes, you're starting Travis Kelsey. Those are no brainers. So you start
I would say go ahead
Juju,
and start Juju every week too.
Juju, and
Because a lot of times Mahomes, I feel
Travis
like
Hilaire.
Mahomes is his he's matchup proof. Doesn't matter who he plays, he's gonna get his.
Yeah, he's a must start. He's a must start. Like how
Hilaire is a flex if you have to.
right now the how every year fantasy just like the 3 quarterbacks you have to start. It's like the 3 guys.
Yeah.
Like the 3 guys this year is you have to start Josh Allen, you have to start Patrick Mahomes, you have to start Jalen Hurts, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even second guess it. You start those 3, and they're matchup proof. But on the other side of the Chiefs,
Jags. As we mentioned, Kansas City's defense is pretty bad.
ETN.
Start ETN. I'm gonna say start Kirk as in a flex this week. And like I said,
Maybe Trevor Lawrence if you need a deep stream.
If you need a quarterback, start Trevor Lawrence this week.
Deep stream, get Trevor. Yeah.
All right, we can move on. We got the Browns and the Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill, start of the week. The Browns
start of every week.
I mean, yeah, he's the MVP. I would actually, that would be the only player I would take a straight up trade for a Cooper Kupp. I'm like, all right. I'll take it. Like it was somebody.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Like Cooper Kupp is still, despite the fact that they as a team suck, is is fantasy god tier right now. But Tyreek Hill, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, like 150 yards like every week. It's crazy to see. It's actually weird he doesn't have as many touchdowns. Like he's figured out a way to get absolutely open all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't get those. He doesn't get those over the top. They're so scared of him going over the top that his curl routes is like 15, steps of curl routes and post routes are fucking just so deadly because he's just thinking gonna run past them, man. And it is crazy to see how good Tyreek Hill is. And then to realize how good still separately, still how good. Think about how good separately Patrick Mahomes and Tariq Hill are, right? And you look juxtaposition to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like how bad they are apart. I'm like, so how good were these motherfuckers together? Like, that's how good the Chiefs were together, and they're still amazing without each other, right? And like, and Devontae Adams and like Rodgers, I assume both go to sleep crying, thinking about the other person with like a picture, like I miss you, like you made life so much better. And yeah, man, it's crazy to see that Tariq Hill without Mahomes is having his best year as a wide receiver. This is fucking
Yeah, we all thought that it would be the other way around. We all thought that, Tyreek did well with
that's what's so crazy.
Mahomes.
Not to say that Mahomes barely, he didn't take it a step back. There's no real step back numbers wise, but like it was like now it almost realized like, oh, it was cheating to have them both on the same team. It was like it was almost cheating. It's almost like if they put Derrick Henry on the Bills. Like, why would we do that? It would be like,
oh man, that would be so much fun.
Why would we, like cold weather come with Derrick Henry down? Like, yeah, why would we subject ourselves to that as a league? Like, it'd be ridiculous. So I mean, that's kind of what like Patrick Mahomes having the most deadly wide receiver, I guess, in league history. Like, it's this year's proof. Like, it's too deadly. Like, it's like Michael Vick at the wide receiver fucking position. Like give him the ball and it's done. And his route running is immaculate. So it's scary. I wanted to start this, talking about when I brought up Garrett Wilson. I was just talking about how great the wide receivers have become in the last few years. Like the last two draft classes of receivers have been phenomenal. And how long it's going to be before we see a class that good, and how teams like the Bengals are missing Jamar Chase. He's still down. Didn't the Bengals beat the shit out of somebody? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, my fault. I must have forgotten they beat the crap out of some godforsaken team. And they didn't with no Jamar Chase, I guess no problem. Just give the ball to Joe Mixon and he'll score all the touchdowns. So I would say the fantasy football game of the week, game of the year trophy so far goes to Joe Mixon. Right? And before,
I would say so.
Before I
or
thought
it could be Tua.
I was gonna say
Tua threw for 7, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be Tua, but people forget that because he's had 3 or 4 concussions since then. But it's crazy. Like Joe Mixon went out there. You're wondering like how the Bengals gonna survive without Jamar Chase. And I guess
and they just ran it down our throats.
I feel like
anyway,
did anything. So
start Jalen Waddle. Because Cleveland's pass defense is really bad. Like no matter Myles Garrett cannot get to the quarterback because he just can't get there. And Tua has one of the quickest releases in the NFL. Like he dropped back and the ball is gone, literally, because they have 2 of the quickest receivers and it just lights out, done.
Yeah,
So
man.
start both of them.
Yeah. All right. And I just a lot of respect for Tua finally, because he got a lot of criticism. Like, could he do it? But they also did give him, just like he had in college, they surrounded him
The
with the,
weapons.
the weapons to do it, and he's doing it. So, yeah, kudos to him.
As far as the Browns, start Chubb.
Yeah.
Maybe start
Nobody
Amari
else.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Because Cooper has been playing really well over the last few weeks.
Yeah, if you don't have a trade deadline that's come up yet in your league, I would say smart money is to try to trade for Cooper, try to trade for Njoku, trade for Browns receivers, because we are coming up shortly on the dramatic return of the feeler, or who I would call Deshaun Watson.
A feeler.
The fiddler on the roof in Cleveland Brown. No, sorry, the fondler on the roof. That's what I would call him.
Oh,
Yeah, but he is 2 weeks away from his return, and as we talk about things that are funny uh, in football, the fact that with no receiving rationale that they're going to in week 13 let him return, but return against his old team in his old stadium is just still too hilarious to me. I mean, I'll talk about it as it gets closer, but the Deshaun Watson starting his first game back against the Texans is fucking hilarious. But for now, I would just say, yeah, if you could trade for Amari Cooper, take him, because I assume Deshaun Watson is going to be better than Jacoby Brissett. And Deshaun Watson, pick him up in the waiver wires if you want to hold on to him for a few more weeks. I believe he's going to be on his Kobe Bryant shit, not tragic things. I was going to make bad, tasteless jokes, but I guess also tasteless joke. But when he was going through his trial, he was fucking playing for his life. He was trying to make everybody forget by his brilliance and his ability to play the sport, to forget all of his transgressions. And I assume I'll get all of that from Deshaun Watson. I'd assume Deshaun Watson is going to come in and win like 6 games in a row. But so trade for him if you can. Start him in the flex this week. Amari Cooper.
mhm.
All right.
All right. So now we got the Texans and the Giants.
All right. Start Daniel Jones. Start Saquon Barkley.
Start Damian Pierce. And that's about it.
And yep, that's it. Everybody else, sit them, cut them, fuck them. I hate Brandon Cooks.
All right.
I'm done with him for
Well, I don't think
all
Brandon Cooks is
eternity.
going to play another down for the Texans now. So,
I don't know. They said he went back. He's questionable. I don't know. I just cut him.
oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, they said the same thing about Elijah Moore, right? So, and he didn't play. So,
yeah, I know. He
Saints,
still wants his money.
Steelers. Chris Olave, Alvin
Alvin
Kamara.
Kamara. That's it. I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm done with that.
that's it. That's literally it.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I feel like we go through these, and then like we've mentioned like maybe 40 players, and I'm like, people have like 12 player leagues. And we're like, you can't start any of these bastards. Like they're like on 12 team leagues, and that means there's like close to 100 players starting every week, or 120 20 between the QB ones and the RB ones, wide receivers, all those flex people. We're like, we got like 30 people we can recommend. I just find that
If you have to have one of them, you can start them.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people are worried about these. Somebody's sitting there like, do I start Chris Olave? I'm like, yeah, you should probably start him.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 5 more games on the docket. 3-4. So got the Colts and the Raiders.
Like this week, somebody definitely has to start Michael Pittman, but I'm not going to recommend them to. But they probably have to. Like,
What do you think the Colts were thinking when they hired Jeff Saturday from the ESPN booth?
I think Jeff Saturday and Jim Irsay used to drink a lot of beers and fuck a lot of hoes.
Probably true. Probably true.
And
You know?
that's
Like,
literally
what
it.
team hires a coach? When they fire a coach, what team actually goes out of their way to hire somebody and not grab somebody that's currently there to be their interim? Like, I don't think I've ever recalled that happening.
I believe it's something like I said, I think they're buddies. Like, hey man, I was never going to be able to get you a job as a head coach before, but now with Jeff Saturday being this interim thing, right? With this little bullshit interim job he's going to get, like in the future, he's going to be given a legit chance somewhere to be a head coach, even though he was just coaching high school football. So Irsay seems like, well, at least I can make something entertaining out of it for me. Like, I'll give my buddy a chance to get NFL head coach. I'm moving my friend ahead 15 years in coaching experience, or at least resume sake coaching experiment.
Butting in line.
Yeah. And there, I see a lot of these outlets talking about it like this would never happen for, like they're saying Reggie Wayne is on the staff of the Colts right now. Reggie Wayne is already the wide receiver coach, and he was he was a teammate of Jeff Saturday. Why wasn't he? So like yeah, this would never have happened for a random black former athlete or whatever. And it is a little fucked up that as many other people that could have been qualified to get it, and just gave it to Jeff Saturday, who's basically an analyst on ESPN. That's like if all of a sudden they were like, you know what, GM, I think the GM of the Cowboys should be Skip Bayless. And it's like, let's fucking do that.
And Skip would, at a heartbeat, accept it.
He would, and it would be silly, and I don't know if he definitely probably wouldn't do a good job, I'd assume.
And he would cut Dak, and he would make Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback. That's how much of a hard on Skip Bayless has for Baker Mayfield.
Well, he saved a lot in cap room if he was able to pull that off. Next year,
I would say Michael Pittman's probably a decent start this week.
Jonathan
Taylor's gonna be out,
still injured. Yep.
So if you're looking for a waiver wire pickup, he's probably already gone. But Deion Jackson, I know that I picked him up a few weeks ago when Jonathan Taylor was out, and he scored. He gave me like 25 fantasy points. So he's a decent pickup. As far as Vegas, Indianapolis is going to be putting Stephon Gilmore on Devontae Adams all day. So, just expect for Devontae Adams not to get the ball.
Yeah.
If you have to start anybody from Vegas, I would say start Josh Jacobs.
I think Devontae Adams it's not getting the ball because of Devontae Adams. I think Derek Carr sucks as a quarterback.
No, that too.
I think
but
Devontae Adams would route. If I watch Devontae Adams get routed by Terry McLaurin, I believe a little more Devontae Adams. I assume he'll route the shit out of him too. So, yeah, if he gives him the ball, like Devontae, they lost last week, right? Raiders, but
Mhm.
Devontae Adams had like 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. You start him regardless, and he should be a monster for you. But so
I have a feeling that this Colts Raiders game is going to be like a 12-9 kind of affair.
yeah, I wouldn't suggest starting anybody. Other than, yeah, you have to start Devontae Adams, like Darren Waller. I don't know what happened. Like, did he die? I don't know. And Josh Jacobs is also not dependable. Like, yeah, I assume the Raiders head coach, whoever he is, will be fired soon as well.
You don't know who the head coach is?
I don't know. Like, I didn't know the head coach. Okay, I didn't know Frank Reich. All right, Frank Reich for the Colts definitely should have been fired. Yeah, sure.
The Raiders head coach is Josh McDaniels.
Right, fire him immediately. Let him go back to like stealing calls for the Patriots on the sideline or something. Or college is probably where he belongs. But yeah, he definitely couldn't get it done. He's got too much offensive firepower to be probably lower bottom half of the league in offensive production. Like, I don't think the Raiders are definitely in the lower tier of scoring. You have Devontae Adams,
which is surprising.
Yeah, like they should have traded Darren Waller. I heard people were interested in him. They should have traded him because they're not using him. Darren Waller.
They tried.
Yeah,
or I think the Packers offered a second or a third round pick.
I know.
but
I
they
believe.
said no.
Well, that's then the Raiders' dumbass fault because this is all over. Like your Derek Carr bullshit. Yeah, it's a farce. I feel bad for Devontae Adams. Feel bad for Hunter Renfrow and Josh Jacobs. And yeah,
Derek Carr is about to be, on his last big contract of his career and is going to be relegated to backup.
Yeah, that's pretty much where he should be. I mean, he didn't even have like the success of Phillip Rivers or Drew Brees or whatever. He's just even more middle tier than that. It's like Brad Johnson if he never won. Like Brad Johnson didn't have a defense good enough. Like if the Raiders had like a top 5 defense, maybe Derek Carr would have been decent enough quarterback of that team. Just like Cooper Rush when they won 4 games in a row because they had a top tier defense. But without that, all right, let's continue. My bad.
So we got the Cowboys and the Packers.
CeeDee Lamb, gonna keep going with Pollard. Dak, I guess.
Yeah, those 3.
Maybe Gallup, but I'm not trusting
Gallup hasn't done very much this season at all.
Yeah,
I would say nobody on Green Bay, mainly because
Aaron Jones.
A-Rod has been terrible, and I think Aaron Jones is going to be out this week.
Then I will start Dillon, whichever running back is the only person that does anything on the Packers. I will start AJ Dillon. No second thoughts. If Aaron Jones is out, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, he might be out. He's questionable. He left last week's game, but you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, either way. I will start the running back for the Packers. That's it. That's all I care about for them. Who else?
All right, so we got Cardinals, Rams.
Stafford's out.
Obviously. Huh? Stafford?
Yeah.
Yeah, he it was announced today that he went to concussion protocol. So it's kind of late. It's Wednesday, and so he's gonna have to clear that. And do you still start Cooper Kupp if Stafford is not playing.
Yeah, I started.
Who even is the backup?
I don't
for
care.
the
I was
Rams?
just about to say, as you were saying this, you're coming up with that sentence in your head. I was saying that if Sean McVay was a starting quarterback, I'd still start Cooper Cup. If I found out McVay had to go under center, I still know 100% of his passes would go to Cup.
I don't even know who these two guys are.
It doesn't matter. It be me and you.
Bryce Perkins or John Wolford.
Look,
I don't know who's the backup, but
Cup will still get 15 targets. It doesn't matter. Like they'll get them on screens, they'll get them on whatever. Like I don't think it might be a Cooper Cup. I don't think you can assume he'll score a touchdown this week, but I think he'll still be in the mediocre 15 to 20 point range. Just
that's mediocre for him.
yeah,
that's like stellar for a lot of players.
Yeah, like with a backup quarterback, he'll probably have like 15 to 17 points. But he can pencil him in for 25 to 40. Like, he'll be like, man, it'll be an off week for Cup. Like, because they'll force it. They have no offense with Stafford. They'll force feed the ball. They can't run the ball, the Rams. They have no choice. They're gonna throw him bubble screens and slants and he might rush 10 times. Like they have to give Cooper Cup the ball. It's the only chance they have. So I'm not worried about Stafford not starting. Stafford's been garbage starting.
Mm-hmm. He has been garbage.
So I mean, maybe one of these guys. I've heard Wolford. Wolford has played for them before. I'm pretty sure I've seen him start for them in the backup capacity. So I mean, I still think there's still NFL caliber quarterbacks. And if every play, I don't care if they throw 3 interceptions, they throw 3 interceptions while trying to get that ball to Cup, I would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
that's how I see fantasy. I don't care what the fucking quarterback does. I just hope he gets it to my player, and they'll have to have any semblance of offense. They're gonna have to get it to Cooper Cup. So,
all right. On the Cardinals side, DeAndre Hopkins is a must start always, but that's going to be such a fun matchup with him and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean,
although I think DeAndre is going to eat him alive.
I was going to say, I'm like, yeah, the check mark is still DeAndre. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, Jalen Ramsey, I think he kind of does good with like a bigger type of receiver that he can kind of push around and stay around. But like, Hopkins is too good of a route runner. Mm-hmm. He's just too good. And even when it's a route, it doesn't matter. Just throw the ball up towards him. He has the best eyes and hands of all the wide receivers. So, yeah, definitely Hopkins. I don't know, maybe Ertz, because tight ends are definitely scarce.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyler, I think you kind of got to start Kyler.
Yeah, you got to start Kyler.
I mean, unless you have somebody way better. Kyler could be your second, but he's up there. If we're talking about QB1s, top 12, he's probably top 12, top 15. So more likely you're starting them.
All right. So we got our Sunday night game. The Chargers and the 49ers.
Good game.
Good game. Good game indeed. I wonder if Keenan Allen is back.
Yeah, Justin.
He certainly didn't play last week, but they still won. But
really hurting, I think, without
forever hurt his hamstring.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I also heard that. But, I mean, he's still a phenomenal quarterback. Is Mike Williams out?
He was out last week. Let me check his status real quick.
So damn, only person you could.
Mike Williams has been declared out for Sunday.
All right, only person you can really Depending
I
on
wouldn't.
Austin
The
Eckler.
only person that's just
Eckler.
to start on the Chargers is Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Austin Eckler.
I would not even start Herbert.
Yeah.
That's how scared I am of you. He has
Only
been.
also because the 49ers are top 3 defense. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
it's tough sledding in prime time. It might be, tough fantasy points for Justin Herbert. Yes, on the other
Easy
side, though,
start. CMC, easy start.
Debo's back, right?
Debo.
Oh
Debo
man,
should be back.
with Debo, but I would start Debo. I'd start
Debo was a
Ayuk.
late scratch last week or last game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had a bye, so he should be back.
I start Ayuk. I'd start CMC, George Kittle. I don't trust any
The
of
regular
running backs.
suspects.
Yeah, I don't trust any running backs for the 49ers. I guess would you start whatever? What's Mitchell? I don't know who's other than CMC is the starting running back.
Mhm.
It was Jeff Wilson before CMC.
Yeah, but he got traded to Miami.
Yeah, so yeah, Ayuk, Debo, CMC,
Oh,
would you start Jimmy Garoppolo?
no, I would not.
Never. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah,
I did not
so-
realize you guys have the Monday night game this week. Commanders and Eagles.
Yep. Gonna run in there, get our ass whooped. I believe Chase Young is back this week, but I don't think that'll be inconsequential.
Well, that would be good news for you guys regardless, but
I mean, yeah, the front, the line, the defensive line looked really good, and with Chase coming in there, it could look phenomenal. But it only shows that we added too much of our strength, and we to one area, and we were thin. If one of those first round draft picks was the fucking cornerback, we'd be better off. But start Jalen Hurts, start Devontae Smith, start Dallas Goedert, start AJ Brown twice if you can. I don't know how you start him twice. We should start him 2 times, and start Miles Sanders. This is 6 players I would say start this Commanders defense, which is statistically, I believe, in the top 10 right now. So still, the Eagles are too good. They have
too many weapons, and you're not going to shut all of them down.
No, we'd have to kill Jalen Hurts, and if that happens, then everything's up for grabs. But yeah, the Eagles seem destined to start about 10-0 before they finally lose. So they're 8-0 now, looking to go 9-0 here, and then they play. Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend. I forget who they play. But anyway, that's not here nor there. Commanders.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they got the Colts after you guys.
Yeah, they have the Colts after us, so they're probably going to start 10-0.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
easiest schedule. Nobody on the Commanders. Taylor, you want to start Taylor? Want to start Brian Robinson or?
I wouldn't start anybody, to be honest with you. Not even McLaurin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard
because no matter what he's going to be doing,
I
he's
feel
going to be
like
matched
you
up.
have to. Like, yeah,
I feel like you have to, but you probably shouldn't. Mainly because he's going to be either matched up with Slay or he's going to be matched up with Bradbury.
Yeah, I'm saying temper your expectations. If
Mhm.
he's a good flex this week, he's not RB1 or 2. That's what I would say. He's a good flex. Like if you have better wide receivers, wide receivers 2 to start over him, you're not going to think about, do I start Waddle or Terry McLaurin? Where technically Terry McLaurin is the number 1 and Waddle is the number 2. You definitely start Waddle. So it's that type of dynamic that the Eagles has a good defense and the Commanders have not a very good offense. So start the Eagles defense. That's what I would do.
I would too.
I think maybe as we go on, not so many things. I would say we would add stuff like that for DFS, the daily fantasy. Um, good stuff. Is that it? So that's the Monday night
That
game.
is all the games for this week, sir. Do you have any sleepers off the top of your head for this week?
You know what? I don't, man. Kind of suck. I'm gonna do more research, but we only got one question this week, which is pretty light, but that's all right. Yeah, it was fun talking about it, but yeah, man, I just I can't think about anything other than yeah, like the only thing that I really wanted to talk about was, oh man, is will Odell actually, because Odell's thinking about going, if Odell goes to the Chiefs, will that be helpful? That'd be overkill. If
Mhm.
you
He's
know,
also thinking about the Bills because Von Miller is trying to
Bills,
recruit him.
yeah, and then also here Micah Parsons trying to recruit him for the Cowboys. So
I honestly think he needs to go somewhere that has grass on their field
hmm,
as their as their home stadium, because he's one of those guys that has complained about turf fields. So going to Dallas is gonna, hurt his ACL, hurt his his recuperation from it.
hmm.
I think that should be a factor too, but money is probably gonna be the main factor. Money and a ring. But
Yeah, he's gonna want to try. I mean, he just got one, but yeah, he's gonna. So I assume Buffalo. Like I wouldn't assume Buffalo because why would you choose to go to a cold climate if you didn't have to? But
I mean, the
yeah, if you
logical
want.
place for him to go is just for the rest of the season is Green Bay. That's the logical place, but they're so far out of contention, right? Not so far out, but
They're
anything
too
can happen
far.
still. But
They're,
they're
they're,
not they're definitely not winning the division, so they're gonna have to go for a wild card spot. But
yeah, I don't know if I want to deal with Aaron Rodgers and all his nonsense right now.
you know
So
what? Another good choice for him, if he thought about it, would be the Chargers.
yeah, yeah, that'd actually not be a bad place for him to go. There or maybe the Ravens.
The Ravens.
I don't know. I mean,
That actually would be a good place too. That would be a good place too.
I feel like Lamar, like I don't know, like maybe he can't use wide receivers at all, but yeah, places that desperately could use a wide receiver. Yeah, the Chargers, him being opposite of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams would be deadly, but they got to make it there. Like fucking Justin Herbert hasn't made it to the goddamn playoffs yet, and it's not looking
And
like it's.
currently they stand at 7th. They stand in the last spot right
Yeah,
now.
it's not
So
looking. It's not looking like it's a foregone conclusion this year. So, yeah, if they were smart, they go get somebody like Odell, somebody to fucking give them extra push, man. They seem like they might be the odd team out as well. So I
what would
mean,
be funny? If we went back
what?
to the Giants.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, like that would be hilarious when we go back there. Just go right back to New York. But I don't think they would do it. It's not. I don't think they're as hilarious as the everyday Instagram and the Twitter followers. So, I got nothing, man. Yeah, what else you got? You got anything? I would say if you don't, I would say to people
I
that are
mean,
watching.
I am going to be starting Terrace Marshall again this week because I have a lot of belief in the young guy. I normally don't start anybody on Thursday night unless it's by accident, but this is not going to be an accident this week.
Yeah,
He has consistently over the last couple of weeks he's gotten in double digits, so that's when he's been pushed into the starting lineup. So I just feel like he's gonna push things even more forward. If he doesn't, he's gonna open up more lanes for DJ. But the one thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football is the debut of our black helmet. We're gonna be wearing all black, so black helmet, black jersey, black pants, black socks, black pants. Black Panther time.
That's funny. You guys decided to wear all Black Panther stuff against the Falcons, the blackest team in the NFL. So I guess they're gonna wear white.
Mhm. Or red.
Oh yeah, I guess they do wear red sometimes too. But hey man, yeah, good luck to them. I wouldn't start PJ Walker if you had a gun to my head, but hopefully he can bring back some of the brilliance he had in the weeks prior.
I just pray that, I know that we'll look good, in those all black unis, but can we play good?
I mean, yeah, only time will tell. Marcus Mariota, start him. All right, bro.
All right, guys, that is
Till next week. Rate,
week 10
review,
of
rate,
fantasy
yes,
suckers.
rate, review, subscribe, share, comment. Comment more than that's on the video. You can comment on our previous video for questions you want us to ask in the upcoming weeks. But Wednesdays, hopefully, between 8 and 9, tentatively. We all have our lives. So I'll say that until next week. We're the Fantasy Suckers. Tuan,
Peace.
peace out.